Hello, I am Mr. Godridge and this is video hashtag 546. In this video, I want to assign each Scooby-Doo character to a Pixie from Winx Club, or maybe I can create an idea of a Pixie to assign with a Scooby-Doo character. But before we get into this video, make sure to like, share and subscribe. Also, if you haven't yet, make sure to check out my previous videos. I've made a wide selection of videos just for you to watch. With that many videos, there's so many to choose from. Like, why not check out one of my 16 videos if you're curious. I've also reviewed a 12-ounce mouse, and I also made a video about video journalism. So there's a lot of videos for you to watch. Anyway, let's get into this video. In this video, I wanted to assign each Scooby-Doo character to a Pixie from Winx Club, and maybe I can create a new Pixie to assign for those Scooby-Doo characters. That's the general idea for this video. I wanted to create this video because I think I covered the Pixie video in my previous video for Winx Club. And I think, the Pixies are really fun, and I just wanted to assign each Scooby-Doo character. By the way, I think I will also assign Scrappy-Doo as well. Since I'm covering Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo recently, so, I do think it's a fun idea, and it's a great way to get fandoms to be connected with each other. I am fan of Scooby-Doo. I am also fan of Winx Club. So why don't I connect these two together? I also do believe that any fandom can be connected. I can totally believe that Scooby-Doo can coexist with Winx Club. I know that Winx Club is a magical world, but Earth does exist in Winx Club, and that could totally be where Scooby-Doo live and stuff. And I can totally see how Roxy could probably make friends with these Scooby-Doo characters. And it's not abnormal if, if fantasy does happen in the world of Scooby-Doo. First of all, we have our talking dog. And I can totally see like R2 making friends with Scooby-Doo himself, the dog. I just wanted to clear that up before we start assigning Pixies and stuff. But before we assign each Scooby-Doo character, including Scrappy-Doo, to each Pixie, I'll talk about the ones that I will include and ones that I won't include. The ones I won't include, I will not include any Pixies that appeared in Pop Pixie. I will also not include Sherry and Kara because Caramel, they appear in season 6, and I just wanted to include the Pixies that are relevant from the ones I've covered. So from Pixie that appeared from season 1 to season 3. I will also not assign any of the elder Pixies, so not Concorda, Athena, Discorda, or Nymphia. I think it's because they got codexes, and I don't think they have like a Pixie of something. How like there's Lockette Pixie of portals. I'm not sure if there's one for those, but if before we do that, I think I might just have a general idea what the Pixie, what sort of Pixie would they be. I think Concorda would be the Pixie of Fairy or Fairy Dust, because she's practically like a fairy godmother kind of archetype. She's basically a mini Faragonda. And I think Athena would be the Pixie of War because she's based on the actual goddess Athena. And Discorda would be the Pixie of dark magic. I can totally see her being the mini Miss Griffin. And Nymphia, she's kind of she's the leader Pixie, so she's a Pixie of Pixie Village. So she's kind of like the the carer of Pixie Village. So those are the pixies that I'm going to disclude from the assignments. So the ones I will include are the main pixies that were bonded with the Winx girls, like we all know who they are. I don't have to spell that out for you. I will also might include Livy, Glim, Zing, and Jolly. Those are the four extras. So overall, I'm going to cover 10 pixies. That probably I'm gonna assign at least one of those two as a Scooby Doo character. I hope I've clarified everything. I'm not good at explaining things. I hope this was clear to you. Okay, let's get assigning. So the first character we have is Fred. So what do we know about Fred? He's the leader of the gang and he drives the mystery machine. So I kind of have an idea what sort of pixie he would need. He would need a pixie to know which direction he needs to go because he is the one who's driving the car. He whenever he's lost, he might need like a pixie that knows where things are. He also might need a pixie, that can fix cars or associated with cars itself. Like, what if the mystery machine starts breaking down? So he might need a pixie similar to that. Or the fact that he's a leader, um, he might need a pixie that might contrast with him with his leadership qualities. Like we know he takes seriously when it comes to like leadership, so maybe something that will like ease his seriousness. Maybe a pixie that will teach him to be less serious, a bit more relaxing, a bit more chill. So those are the ideas of what pixies will have. We have Locket, who might help Fred with the directions and stuff. We have Digit, who might help him with the cars and stuff. And pixies that might help him loosen up a bit. Maybe Chatter for like letting him like talk out a bit. Maybe Piff will like ease Fred when he's stressed. Or maybe Amore might help him when it comes to empathy. So that might be it. But I think the one pixie that I would assign from all of those, I would assign Lockhead the most. Because I think when it comes to driving a car, I think the most important thing is, finding the direction. And, um, there's often times that the gangs do get lost and, like, they often stumble into dangerous situations. So, yeah. So overall, Fred's bonded pixie would be Lockett, the pixie of portals. For a bonus pixie, he would need a pixie of cars. The second character that we're going to talk about is Daphne. I think out of all the characters, Daphne suffers the most when it comes to characterization. From the Scooby-Doo shows I've covered, like from Scooby-Doo Where Are You to Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo, Daphne suffers a lot. I feel like her personality doesn't shine through as much. I would love to see her more expressing her femininity a bit more. Let her show her her feminine side a lot more. Unlike the future Scooby Doo shows, like What's New Scooby Doo, her personality of her feminine side comes across a lot more in that show. Anyway, I have ideas of what sort of pixies Daphne would need. First of all, she would need a pixie that can match her feminine side, let her feminine side shine through. So I have two pixies that I have in mind. First is Amore, who could let Daphne express her emotional side, her love and stuff, affection. Maybe that. Maybe Toon might be a good pixie choice for her because Tune is all about etiquette and how she presents herself. Maybe like Daphne, she's all about makeup and things like that. Maybe a Tune might help her. And the fact that Daphne, you know, hasn't really expressed herself all that much throughout the shows that I've covered her well enough. I think Chatter might be a good option for her as well. I feel like she needs a Pixie that can let her personality shine through because out of the six, I think she suffers the most. Like, if you tell me what you know about Daphne from the shows I've covered, there's not much coming out from her. I think we do know that she's rich. That has been brought up a million times, and I think the fact that she has a lot of connections with her family, that's been brought up a lot of times. So I think Tune might help with that as well. Like, she is kind of like a uppity type of character. So, with when it comes to classism, Tune could match with Daphne. But from all these pixies, there's only one pixie that I have in mind that would actually match with Daphne. I would assign Zing, the pixie of shapeshifting. I'm gonna assign her to Daphne because she's the person who changes her personality all the time. She's like every time she shapeshifts, it's a new character. So that's something that I think Daphne could be encouraged. Maybe this would help Daphne like just be herself. And Daphne likes dressing up, doesn't she? She's a fashionista, I think. That's the idea she provokes from the shows we covered from her. So yes, she's getting Zing, the pixie of shapeshift. As a bonus pixie, we would include a pixie of fashion. That would be a good idea for Daphne. The third character we're going to talk about is Velma. Unlike Daphne, I think Velma is easy to characterize. I mean, it's pretty basic trope. She's a nerdy girl. So out of the gang, Velma is the brainy one. She helps solve mysteries. She's good with clues and all that, and she's good at gathering facts. So she might need a pixie that can match that personality, or a pixie that might contrast with that personality. She might need a pixie because she doesn't. She's not good at expressing her emotions really well. She has to be logical all the time. So maybe she needs a pixie that can let Velma express her emotions. Also, despite the fact that she's always skeptical all the time, and even though when Shaggy and Scooby are totally convinced, like they spotted a monster, it's very easy for Velma to be like, "Oh, it doesn't make sense. Why would it make sense?" Even though, like, there's no actual proof. There's many instances, but like, of course, these monsters aren't real. It's a person in disguise. But even so, shouldn't she a little bit be more? Um, she needs to be less gaslighting of Scooby Doo and Shaggy's emotions when it comes to like them freaking out about these monsters. Even though there's proven time that it's a monster in disguise, a person in disguise. So I have general ideas of what pixies might match with Velma. So the first pixie I have in mind is Digit. Um, in Winx Club, sometimes a pixie match are there to match with the fairy. It's not always to contrast with the fairy. And Techna and Digit are bonded together because they match each other. So I think because Digit is like a brainy type of pixie, she could totally match with Velma. But also Velma, her she needs to learn to be more empathetic and be a bit more emotional, understanding of Shaggy and Scooby, not to gaslight them when they're like are emotional, scared or whatever. not to just shrug off whenever they're like being scared or something. Yeah. So I think Amore might be a good pixie for her, because she's good at emotions, love. It could help Velma be more loving and caring. Um, and another pixie that I think will be a really, I think this is the pixie that Velma needs. Um, she would need Jolly, the pixie of fortune tellings. I think this pixie is a good for her, because even if like she's skeptical, they are facing different monsters each episode, and it is a person in disguise. Jolly is a person who's a bit more superstitious. So Velma would need Jolly, the pixie of fortune telling, who's Velma in person would not believe in these superstition things, but Jolly would be a good contrast for her. So overall, she needs Jolly, the pixie of fortune telling. As a bonus, I think because Velma loses her glasses, I think Velma needs the pixie of vision, somewhere along that lines. Also, I want to add that Jolly could help Velma when it comes to like looking for clues. You know, like you know, Jolly could give clues about the truth about these monsters. With her fortune telling and stuff. You know how these fortune tellers are like. I mean, if you watch Encanto and Bruno, you'll know what they're like. We have three more characters to go. The next character we're going to talk about is Shaggy. So what do we know about Shaggy? I think this is pretty straightforward. He's the scaredy cat of the bunch and he eats a lot. He eats a lot despite being a size 0. High metabolism, am I right? So what sort of pixie would Shaggy need? He would need a type of pixie that can ease his anxiety because he gets scared all the time. And since he eats a lot, maybe we can have a pixie that's associated with food. You know. Also, Shaggy isn't smart. I know I criticize Velma for like dismissing Shaggy whenever he gets scared, but sometimes Shaggy could be a little bit smart as well himself. Like, how do you not know that all those monsters you faced, and they all were disguises? How are you still scared? So he would need a pixie with logical thinking. I mean, Digit could be a good example of a pixie who will, let Shaggy, think logically. Like it's a monster, person in disguise. Multiple monsters were facing you. Yeah, you have Digit for that. I don't know if there's any pixies, the current ones associating with food, so I'm not sure. I think the best pixie for Shaggy, it has to be Piff. Like she's kind of a baby bee pixie, but she's also a nice soother. If you know in the Winx Club, whenever Layla has nightmares, Piff is always there to comfort her whenever she's having nightmares. So she's kind of like a therapy for Layla, and also Piff is kind of like she eats a lot. She loves food. I know in one scene like she loves cookies. I think it's that scene in the dining hall. Layla was going to eat her biscuit, I think, but Piff was going to snatch it off her. I think that was cute, but I think Piff would be an ideal pixie for Shaggy because he gets stress and anxiety, and Piff is a perfect pixie for Shaggy. So overall, Shaggy's bonded pixie will be Piff, pixie of sweet dreams. As a bonus, he would need a pixie of food. Anyway, let's move on to the titular character Scooby Doo. Let's talk about his personality. He's basically Shaggy if he was a dog. He eats a lot and gets scared. So what Pixie will be right for him? Also need to point out that he's a dog. Maybe something along the lines could be good for him. And I've already assigned Piff to Shaggy, and I don't want to reuse a Pixie to a character because I think that would be boring and it won't be fun. So I'm gonna assign a different character for Scooby Doo. So let's see what Pixies we have left to assign for Scooby Doo. We have Amore, Tune, Chatter, Livy, and Glim. We can start thinking about characters who we can rule out. I think we can rule out Tune and Livy. I don't think they're a type of Pixie to match with Scooby Doo. At least I don't think so. I just don't think their personality will match. So it all comes down to Amore, Chatter, and Glim. And I'm kind of a toss-up between Amore and Glim. Like Shaggy, he might need a baby Pixie, so I think Scooby-Doo might need Glim. But remember, he's a dog, and he is a lovable dog. Everyone needs to love him. I think Amore would be a perfect Pixie for Scooby-Doo. I think she would able to provide the affection like a good dog like Scooby-Doo will need. So from out of these, Scooby-Doo needs Amore, the Pixie of love, but as a bonus, he needs the Pixie of dogs. And the last character we're going to talk about is Scrappy-Doo. While Shaggy and Scooby are more cowardice, Scrappy-Doo is a bit more courageous and brave. I think we could have a Pixie that can match his personality or contrast his personality. I think to contrast his personality, I think Tune might work because they're both she can keep Scrappy-Doo in check whenever he's like being annoying when he's being rude sometimes. However, I think Chatter could be a good match for him. She's up for a challenge. She's very excitable, and I think Scrappy-Doo and Chatter would be a perfect match. And as a bonus, I think Scrappy-Doo needs a Pixie of adventure. Okay, that's it for now. I think we've covered each character assigning to each Pixie. So let's go over what we've assigned. We've assigned Fred with Lockette. We've assigned Daphne with Zing. We've assigned Velma with Jolly. We've assigned Shaggy with Piff. We've assigned Scooby-Doo with Amore. And we've assigned Scrappy-Doo with Chatter. I think this was really fun. I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you have any idea of what a Pixie could be assigned to these characters, or any character at all, let us know in the comments. I think this is a really great way to connect two fandoms together. Yeah. Anyway, if you like this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and have a lovely day.